He said, once they have you on video, they own you. That this is a system that has existed for many in this town, not everyone, but many, and that they ply these individuals with this, physical gratification, in other cases, chemical, and using other, perhaps aphrodisiacs to be able to have them in their power. And people keep asking me as well. Who is the other individual in the tape? And I've not been able to get that information from, I'll say, the place where I obtained the initial video. I have requested that information. I've requested the full video, because we can obviously tell that this is a longer video. And we are still working on this. We're also working on further leads. We're on with Evita Duffy, and there's so many questions. And I was just over at the White House, came over here, and we have this situation that's ongoing with Senator Eric Swalwell. But do we really think he was the only one? And that was the question I asked to Secretary Leavitt, and of course, asked the administration as a whole. And I can confirm, I said this came after the show last night, and I said, guys, this is something that's on the radar of law enforcement. Law enforcement is involved. All right, I can tell you that. And we now saw on the LA side that has come out, and I'm telling you that regarding the specific situation that I've been reporting on regarding this Las Vegas bedroom is on the radar of law enforcement as we speak, and that's all I can really say about that right now. Evita Duffy, we're still on with you, and Evita, this is my big question here. Is it's not even about Swalwell as a person. It's about this wider network that he seems to have been operating with. Because does anything that Ruben Gallego say make any sense when he came out yesterday and he was saying that, he fooled me and he lived a double life, like he's like Batman or something? It's ridiculous. It doesn't pass the smell test.
No, it doesn't, Jack. And I was thinking about this story. First of all, when you're a parent, right? You're a parent in 2026. Unfortunately, you have to have conversations maybe with your 16-year-old son, like, hey, I know you have a Snapchat. Like, don't be sending D pics out. And you have to tell that to your 16-year-old son, maybe because their prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed. They're stupid. They're teenagers. We're talking about like a 40-something-year-old sitting member of Congress, somebody who wanted to be the governor of California. Like, this is a leader in our country. And this idea, I said it was absurd that other Democrats didn't know about this, or at least hadn't heard the rumors. I think, of course, ridiculous at its face. But I also think that might be on purpose. I feel that they pick individuals to run for office, to be elevated in power, because they are loose cannons, because they are completely deplorable and disgusting individuals, because they're easier to control. I mean, you saw the second that they didn't want Eric Swalwell in this governor's race, everybody comes out and is taking this man down. And I think that is a reflection of this idea, Jack, that you were talking about, where there's probably a lot of other ones like it. And you know what? They all have to go. I don't care if you have compromising individual information about this person and they vote really well on the Democrat or Republican side. We can't have leaders in our country who are disgusting, compromisable human beings. First of all, it's a national security threat. But second of all, it's not who we are. As a country, we deserve better.
There's so many things to unpack about what you just said, and we had former Congressman Madison Cawthorn on here yesterday, and he walked us through the system of how it works. He said, once they have you on video, they own you, and that this is a system that has existed for many in this town, not everyone, but many, and that they ply these individuals with this, physical gratification, in other cases, chemical, and using other, perhaps aphrodisiacs to be able to have them in their power, and whatever the special interests are at play here. And there's so many questions about, and people keep asking me as well. Who is the other individual in the tape? And I've not been able to get that information from, I'll say, the place where I obtained the initial video. I have requested that information. I have requested the full video, because we can obviously tell that this is a longer video. And we are still working on this. We're also working on further leads regarding others in, I'll just say government, others in elected office. And that's where it stands. But at the same time it's this conspiracy of silence, Evita, that is really holding back so much, not just from a TV show or a podcast or something, from the American people who deserve better. Isn't that the point?
Yeah, well, Jack, this is why alt media is so important, because I'm interested in who's the other person in the video. You're interested in it. You're actively investigating it. But to be clear, no one else in corporate media is interested in who is the other individual in that video at all. Nor, I mean, I think, are they interested in anybody who was involved in any of Eric Swalwell's various escapades that he's clearly been involved in throughout the years. Because again, this is about one person. This is about one scalp at the behest of the Democratic Party and their own political goals. That's it. That's what this is about. It's not really some sort of principled stand being taken by Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic media apparatus. That is just, it's not true. So I think it's important for people like you and me to continue pushing for transparency, for the truth, because the media is not going to do it. That's not what this is about.
No, and it's very unfortunate, because we do have these two sides to the situation. You noticed even just in the press briefing that I was in there, right there wasn't a single follow-up question about that situation at all. I'm talking about a guy who's been credibly accused by multiple victims, a guy who, again, we have him on video. I published that video. It's out. It is right there. It's verified. You notice he hasn't even tried to deny that it's him, because like you're caught in 4K, as the kids say. And this guy is, I guess he didn't, by the way, get the 16-year-old Snapchat lecture. But it's the ridiculous part of this is that the rest of the media who sat in the room right next to me, we're all in the same room. And I'm not saying they didn't have good questions about other things, but you notice there wasn't a single follow-up. Last minute to you, Evita Duffy.
Well, I'll just say this, Jack, this has been the game plan this has been the playbook for a long time. Bill Clinton was a disgusting human being. Everybody knew about it. And that was actually an advantage for them. The Democratic establishment liked that about him, because it made him easy to control. There are lots of individuals like this in American politics. And the problem now is that we have alternative media. We have this thing called the internet, and it's wide open. And they're not going to be able to get away with it as much as they used to, especially because the American people are sick and tired of having people like Bill Clinton or Eric Swalwell leading us.
Simple as that. Evita Duffy, where can people follow you?
Evita Duffy _1. My husband is running for Congress. His website is alfonsowisconsin.com.
All right. Thank you so much. Jack Posobiec, right back here at Human Events Daily.